Hey everybody, this is Leslie and you're watching Midlife and Nailing It. If you could please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. It helps my channel out. Today is Monday, so I have for you a cook with me. I will be making a Crockpot shepherd's pie. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you stay tuned. Okay guys, so I am just making a super simple recipe today. I'm going to make shepherd's pie in my crock pot. So right now I'm just frying up 2 pounds of hamburger, a diced up onion, salt, pepper. I sprinkled a little garlic powder in there, and then I sprinkled some minced onion. If you don't have minced onion, you don't have to use that. I mean, it could be as simple as salt and pepper. But I had some of that on hand, and that minced onion really tastes good in a crock pot, so I went ahead and added it. So I'm going to go ahead and cook all this up and then drain it off, and I'll show you what we do next. So this is what my meat mixture looks like all cooked up. I'm going to go ahead and drain it and get it into my crock pot that I've lined with a crock pot liner just to make my life easier when I want to clean my crock pot later. Okay everybody, I just went ahead and drained off my meat mixture there. That's just the 2 pounds of hamburger and diced up onion and seasoning in there. So yeah, I went ahead and added that to my lined crock pot. I am about to throw in these carrots. I cut up and peeled 4 carrots. And then I am going to add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 2 tablespoons of this tomato puree. I am going to save the rest of this for a lasagna that I'm making later in the week. And then I'm also going to add salt and pepper to taste right now. Sadly, I thought I had frozen peas, you guys, and I don't. I'm so disappointed. But normally this is when you would add your 1 to 2 cups of whatever kind of peas you'd like to use. So let me get this all into the crock pot and I'll show you what that looks like. So I got everything into the crock pot here and gave it a good stir. I went ahead and added 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce instead of the 1. You could stick with 1 if you wanted, or add 2 like me. I mean, really guys, when you cook, you can just do your own thing, right? So super still disappointed about the peas, but I'm going to go ahead and get a lid on this, and I'm going to cook this on high for 3 hours. At around 3 hours or so, I'm going to go ahead and make my mashed potatoes, and I'll show you that when I get to it. And then you're going to want to take the lid off, top off the top of this with your mashed potatoes, and then let it cook on high for about another hour or so. You want the top of your potatoes to start to brown just a little bit, crisp up just a little bit. So I will be back in 3 hours. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I totally put the lid on and then went and sat down and started reading, and I totally forgot to add my beef stock. You could either use beef stock or beef broth if you'd like. You want to add about a cup. I also want to add real quick here that you could use 2 pounds of lamb as well, ground lamb. I know that's what they do in the UK. But yeah, and if you did that, you'd probably want to use chicken stock or chicken broth instead of the beef stock or broth. But I'm going to go ahead and get 1 cup in here. I'm just using, see, beef stock. I think this is from Aldi. I had it in my pantry. So let me go ahead and measure 1 cup out, and we'll pour that in and put the lid back on and walk away yet again. So I'm just adding my beef stock in. And then I will put my lid on and try this again. Okay guys, so all I did here is peel and dice up about 5 potatoes. It depends on the size of your potatoes. You just want to make enough potatoes to do a layer of mashed potatoes on top of what we've already got going on in our crock pot, our meat mixture with the vegetables and stuff. So I'm just showing you the dice size I did on the potatoes. This is just your standard, you know, mashed potato situation. So I'm going to go ahead and bring those to a boil. What I do is I have my stovetop on high, and when it comes to a boil, I turn it down to about an 8. and then I'll drain off the water and add some milk and butter. I just use an old school potato masher when I do mashed potatoes, and I'll probably add some salt and pepper too, but I'll show you what all that looks like coming up. So the potatoes were done, and you know they're done when you can get a knife through one of them. I went ahead and drained off the water, and I threw them in this bowl, and I actually forgot that I needed to film. I wanted to show you that I had about a 3/4 stick of butter. I put it in the bottom, and then I put the potatoes on top so it melts. But yeah, there's about 3/4 stick of butter underneath there, and then I added some salt and pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit of milk here and then mash it up. Actually, I'm gonna have Randy come over and hold this camera for me so you can see that process. Hey babe. He's coming. And I just add a little bit of milk at a time, because it's easier to add milk than it's impossible to take away. So you just want to start a little bit at a time. You can use a mixer here. I do that once in a while, but honestly, I prefer the taste of the mashed potatoes like this. Okay, so after I had it mashed up super well, I just got a spoon and I want to make sure everything's stirred up really well. And then I'm going to come over to my crock pot and get this on top of my meat mixture, so let's go check that out. Okay, so I'm showing you my meat mixture like from a distance. I'm actually going to give that a little bit of a stir and then get my mashed potatoes on top and get the lid back on. So let me go ahead and do that. It smells so good, you guys. Don't you think, Randy?
Oh yeah.
It smells super good. Okay, so I went ahead and gave that a mix. Again, I'm super sad that we don't have the peas, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. And then I'm gonna come over here. Randy and I are trying to maneuver this. God forbid I get my tripod out and do it that way. This is what lazy people do when they film, you guys.
Do it like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I doubt half the people even know what that is.
Having a vision.
Okay, let me get all of this in. Good movie, by the way, if you've never seen that. Heck, we're all home. Most of us are home anyways. Everyone should be home, but most of us are home anyways. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, guys, is a great movie. Don't you think, babe?
Do you like to play with your food? It's a classic.
Okay, well, whatever. You know what other movie? You know what other movie we just watched that's super hilarious if you've never seen? Because I hadn't, and I don't know why. It was Little Miss Sunshine. I seriously almost peed my pants. That was so funny. So, I'm going to grab the camera from Randy. Thank you for your assistance. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get my lid on here and let this cook for about another hour, maybe a little bit more. So this is what it looks like all finished up. It looks like the potatoes took on some of the color of what we mixed our meat mixture with. I'm going to go ahead and plate this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so this is what the shepherd's pie looks like plated up from the crock pot. You can kind of see some of the meat and carrots there. They're kind of underneath the potatoes, so it smells so super good. So I'll go ahead and put the recipe in my description box below, and I hope you enjoy. I hope everyone is staying safe, and I'll see you soon.